Ready for a hands-on career as an auto technician?
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here. It is the second of two today, and this time we are commentating the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken. It should be a great one here tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are coming off of the great game between the Capitals and the Sabres. That was certainly a fun one, and now we will take a look at the Seattle Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche. Two teams in completely polarizing spots. The Avalanche currently with 43-11-9 record for 95 points this season. They have played absolutely incredible this year, and they're looking to edge themselves closer to an official playoff berth here as well. On the other side, the Seattle Kraken are looking to get into a playoff spot here. They're currently out of the they're in the playoff picture. I apologize. They're tied with San Jose in terms of points, but they have lost 3 games in a row. They are 29, 25, and 9 for 67 points. They're having a late season slump here, and they need to get things back on the right track. And they need it badly here. With a win tonight over Colorado, things could get a lot better, but it'll be interesting seeing Nazem Kadri back in an Avalanche jersey. This is our first commentary since the Avalanche acquired Nazem Kadri. I'm so excited. Kadri was one of my favorite guys to watch on the Avalanche back in 2022, and I could not be happier to be commentating him here coming up here in a couple of moments. Starting goaltenders here on both sides for both teams. Let's take a look at the goaltenders here. I'll put their Watch with Nordic stats up on my screen. On one side, if I can find the actual graphic. Here we go. On one side is Mackenzie Blackwood with a pretty good Watch with Nordic track record. 10 games commentated, 7-3-0, a 2.30 goals against, and a .910 save percentage with the Avalanche in his Watch with Nordic career. On the other side, Philip Grubauer, 6 games commentated, 3-3, a 2.17 and a .921 save percentage this season as well. What's up, Robert? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Let's go Seattle. Love to hear that. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here for these two teams. Looks like it'll be Kadri, MacKinnon, and Natchez facing off against McCann, Beniers, and Eberle. And then again, starting goaltenders in further depth. It's Joey Daccord versus Scott Wedgewood. So I was completely lied to by NHL Network. That is awesome. So, correct me. It is Daccord versus Wedgewood. That's first time in a while where I've gotten that completely wrong. NHL.com just completely cucking me there. So it is Joey Daccord facing off against Scott Wedgewood here tonight. What's up, Tim? Welcome to the stream. And here we go. Avalanche versus Kraken. And we are underway. Face-off is won here by Seattle. They will dump it down low into the Avalanche. And now on the right side, trying to play that one is Natchez. Poke check down low. Gaudreau trying to throw a pass in front. Here is Nazem Kadri. Picks up the puck now and moves it down the right side. Pass down low. Denied there by Daccord on the right side. Nathan MacKinnon picks it back up at center. He'll dump it down low into the Seattle zone once again. Daccord out of his own net then. Will play it back down low. Then Natchez steals it back over for Kadri. Down low to Josh Manson. Manson fires it and denied there by Daccord. So I apologize. Apparently, So I usually pull my lineups from NHL.com. A lot of the time, they'll get the starting goaltenders right. Sometimes they'll get one goaltender wrong. I think that's the first time since I've started using them to see who's starting in net that they've gotten both the goaltenders wrong. So I apologize for that, guys. That is on me. Face-off now is won by Seattle in their own zone. Ryan Lindgren back over to Jared McCann. Kept in by Brent Burns a shot. That one deflects wide. On the right side then, Brock Nelson. Picked up down low then by Montour. Will throw a pass to center. Off the boards, here's Jordan Eberle. Shoots it. And that one goes up in the air and wide. Kraken looking for their first shot of the game. Shots are 2-0 here in favor of the Avalanche. 60 seconds in. Nichushkin in front. And denied by Daccord as a Brock Nelson with a great chance there. And the Avalanche are off and running here early. Kind of similar to the Buffalo game there in the sense that, the Avalanche are the one that are coming out running right away. And again, I talked about it a little bit in the pregame. This is a huge game for Seattle. The Kraken are on a 3-game skid. They're tied with San Jose. San Jose just won today against the Bruins. You need to respond back and get these 2 points. I know it's a difficult team to face off against, but you can't control your schedule. You got to win. Here's Frederick Gaudreau now. Pass back over to Vince Dunn. Dunn through center back to Chandler Stevenson. Will fire it on. That one is blocked. And grabbed then down low by Marty Necas. And a whistle blown here as Wedgewood's mask comes off. So we will get a stoppage here and resume in just a moment. For those who don't know, when the goaltender loses their mask, the whistle is already blown. All right, just looking at my stuff here. Yeah, it said Philip Grubauer and Mackenzie Blackwood were the starting goaltenders. So I guess that they were just lying to me there. Sadly, no Bobby McMahon yet. McMahon is still working out his visa to come and play games, and hopefully he'll be there on Sunday's commentary of Panthers versus Kraken. Yeah, we're getting a lot of Kraken commentaries in this month. I went about 3 months without live streaming Seattle. I think it's only fair that we get a Kraken stream in there. Face-off coming up now. It'll be in the Avalanche zone. Wedgewood just fixing up his gear here really quick. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Face-off in the Avalanche zone. Kadri versus Gaudreau. They're going to move Kadri to a lot of different positions. He started off on the wing initially, and now he's at center. That's going to be a very useful player. Here's Larson dumping it down low. It banks off the boards and into Wedgewood, who will make the save and cover up. So the Avalanche looking to move further to a playoff spot. They're 5 points ahead of the second-place team in the National Hockey League. The Avalanche have been leading the entire year, but Dallas is hot on their tail. Same with Carolina. Face-off again now is won by the Avalanche. Here's Brett Kulak. Kulak will dump it to center. Colorado coming off a loss of their own against the Oilers. They are 7-3 in their last 10. Banked off the boards to center. Grab back then down low. Sam Malinsky will throw this one to center. Now Jack Drury battling for it. Poke checked ahead by Parker Kelly. Kelly behind the net then for the likes of Drury. And stolen back then by Seattle. Shane Wright dumps it down low to the Avalanche zone. Wedgewood over his own net will play it around. Grab back then by Drury, who will move it through center. Now racing forward is Nick Waugh, who joins this Avalanche team as well. Another trade deadline acquisition there. Brett Kulak picks it up then behind the net for Colorado. Off the boards to Waugh. Grab back then by Drury, who will clear that one down low into the Seattle zone. DeCord gives it back behind the net then for Dunn. Played ahead then for Winterton. Winterton off the boards to Melanson. Now Nick Blackenberg, another deadline acquisition there, will bank it off the boards to center. Nelson battling for it. Grab back then by Seattle. Into the zone now. A shot deflects in the air and out of play. And we got a stoppage as the Kraken. Ben Myers in the fourth line there for Seattle, getting some pressure on a little under 2.5 minutes in. So new acquisitions here and some new faces for Colorado. Nazem Kadri, not really a new face, but especially Nick Waugh and Nick Blackenberg, two new players in the Avalanche's lineup who are already making impacts. Nick Waugh scored on Sunday. Blackenberg been effective there on the back end. Avalanche just trying to bolster their team any way they can. Getting a guy like Kadri and Waugh really help out their forward core. Face-off here now, won by Seattle. Eberle. Stolen back then by Zakhar Bardakov. Thrown up to center then. Gavin Brindley trying to poke check it down low. Now Lindgren. Off the boards and banked back to center. Josh Manson. Below the line. Stolen back then by the Kraken. Kept in the zone. Avalanche get it right back. Here they come the other way. Backhanded all the way back down low to the Seattle zone. Brandon Montour off the boards then for Lindgren. Cleared to center. It'll slide in on Wedgewood, and given back then down low for Devon Tays. Cale Makar moves it through center, backhanded down low to the Seattle zone. Shots now 3-2 in favor of Colorado. Pass in front, nobody's there for the Avalanche. Now Tays at the point. Back to Makar. Tays and Makar regroup up top, back to MacKinnon. MacKinnon up top, shot, goes wide there off of Kadri. Now Natchez to the right side. Natchez down low to Kadri. Kadri below the line then to Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon pass over, they score! It's Marty Natchez, the hottest player in the National Hockey League. And the Avalanche open up the scoring. It's 1-0, 6:15 remaining in the first. And who else but Marty Natchez? This Avalanche team, so many weapons on their roster. And that is being shown here heavily to start this one off. Just great movement by Colorado. What a little saucer pass there by Nathan MacKinnon. Devon Tays picks up the nice little secondary assist there as well. And the Avalanche have opened up the scoring. It's 1-0. Yeah, I saw that, King. It sucks, but it is what it is. Marty Natchez from Devon Tays and Nathan MacKinnon. Face off at center then is won by Seattle. Alexiak off the boards to Shane Wright. Pass back then for Kakko, who will dump that one into the Colorado zone. Brent Burns. Behind the net then, taken back by Wright. Wright up top. Pass back to Evans. Riker Evans now over to Wright. A shot deflected there by Berkeley Cannon and wide of Wedgewood. Grabbed then by Kelly. Kept in the zone by Seattle. Alexiak down low then for Kaapo Kakko. Kakko taken back then by Parker Kelly. Tried to backhand that one to center. Seattle keeps it in. Alexiak up top to Evans. Evans down low then for Cadden. Seattle now hemming the zone. Kakko up top. Alexiak battling for it. Gets knocked off the puck by Parker Kelly, who will clear it back to center. Grabbed then quickly by the Kraken in their own zone. They'll regroup with the puck. Shots are 5-1 in favor of the Avalanche. They've opened up the scoring. Stolen back then by Colorado. 2-on-2 developing. Bardakov to Nelson, a shot. And he fires that one wide there as well. Below the line then, Brindley pass in front. Save there by Decor. Rebounds in front. And then another chance for Nichushkin. He fans on it. And it goes wide. Here's Makar down low in the corner. Back over to Nelson. Brock Nelson up top. Tays to Makar. Makar back to Tays. Top line there for the Avalanche regrouping in their own end. Back down low then for Nelson, who gets tied up in the corner with Matty Beniers. Banked off the boards then for Nichushkin. Nichushkin cleared back up to the point. Makar over to Tays. Tays looks for option. Shoots it. Blocked. Now Nelson. Below the line then for Nichushkin. Cleared back to the point. Makar over to Tays. Broken up then by Seattle. Jordan Eberle will break it through the red line and dump it down low into the Avalanche end. Colorado giving up all the pressure. Shots are 6-1 with about 14 minutes to go. Turnover here at center ice. Kraken trying to break it down the other way. Through the zone now with speed. Circling back around is Myers. A shot. That one's blocked. Rebound up top. Larson, a drive save. Rebound goes wide, and a great chance there for the Kraken fourth line, but could not convert. Here's Dunn. Off the boards then to center. Kadri gets it back. Over then for MacKinnon. Grabbed back then by Seattle on the right side. Regrouping now in his own end is Dunn. Seattle is wearing their alternate jerseys here, and it's very difficult to tell the numbers of some of these players, so I apologize in advance. Here's Frederick Gaudreau. Dumps it down low into the Avalanche end. Malinsky battling for it in the corner. Tolvanen. Back over then to Gaudreau up top. Alexiak shoots it, and it goes up in the air. And out of play with 13:19 to go in the opening period. Plenty of pressure. Shots are 6-2 in favor of Colorado. So much action here in the opening period. It is 1-0 in favor of the Avalanche. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Let's take a look at the status report here amongst these two teams per NHL.com. Not even worth relying on at this point. Drew O'Connor has been participating in practices but has yet to play this season for the Avalanche. Hopefully he will be back in the lineup soon. He had a hip surgery at the beginning of the year and resulted in him not playing for a while. So maybe he'll be able to get back in the lineup soon for Colorado, but as of now is just practicing currently with the team. The Kraken out a morning skate. McMahon did participate, but he is working on getting his work visa. And there was a chance that it would come by game time, but sadly it did not. And as a result, he is not playing here tonight for Seattle. At least I don't think he is. Nope, looking at it here, he's not. So there you go. So Marty Natchez with the goal there for Colorado. Makes it a 1-0 lead for the Avalanche. Let's go Avs. I'm from Vancouver, but Avs fan. Hate the Canucks. Damn. Just got tired of them, or you just never been a fan? Marty Natchez picks up his 9th goal in a commentary stream, 23rd point. And again, this is a big game for Seattle. The Sharks defeated the Bruins tonight by a score of 4-2. They have tied the Kraken for that second place spot. What a goal from Michael Miso, oh my lord. San Jose is tied for that second wild card spot. Or no, they're actually in that wild card spot. Never mind. Seattle finds themselves below the playoff line now. Face-off here is won by the Avalanche and cleared back all the way into the Seattle zone. Alexiak back down low then. Decord will throw it all the way back into the Avalanche zone. That will be an icing as Decord ices it against his own team. They suck, yeah. Not a great team. I thought about doing that tonight, but I decided let's do the Avalanche. Trying to get more playoff teams in there. Face-off coming up now in the Seattle zone is won by the Kraken. Banked off the boards now. Berkeley Cadden cross-ice pass through center, broken up, and battling for it then was Brett Kulak. On the right side, Nicholas Waugh back to Parker Kelly, who will dump it down low. Now Riker Evans. Below the line, over then for Alexiak. Puck is cleared all the way down low into the Avalanche zone for another icing. Whew. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We got another great commentary tonight. We'll be live tomorrow for Islanders and Kings. That should be a good game tomorrow. Face-off here now is won by the Kraken. Backhanded off the boards then to Kakko. Kakko will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Makar back to Natchez. Taken back then by Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon over to Natchez. Through the zone. MacKinnon gets it back up top. To Taze's shot. That one goes wide. Cale Makar then battling for it in the corner. Here come the Kraken again the other way. With speed through the neutral zone. Dumped in by Gaudreau. Wedgewood now plays it back to Makar. Taze to MacKinnon. Off the boards then for Natchez. Natchez to Kadri. Kadri loops it around. Seattle tried to clear it out. MacKinnon keeps it in, then down low. Natchez back up to MacKinnon. MacKinnon cross-ice pass up top. Malinsky a shot. That one is blocked. I think Kadri may have blocked it himself. Pass back up top to the point. Blankenberg will clear it back to Kadri down low. Now Nathan MacKinnon trying to feed a pass in front. Natchez is there as well. Cleared away then by the Kraken all the way down into the Colorado zone. Wedgewood will give it back then for Sam Malinsky. Played up ahead then to Blankenberg through center. Cleared back into the Kraken end. And it goes up and out of play, I believe. So we will stop with 11:21 to go. Face-off coming up here now at center is won by Seattle. Off the boards to Jordan Eberle. who will clear it down low into the Avalanche zone. Burns to Manson. Up ahead then for Nelson. Nelson, a backhand there through center is broken up. Now Beniers on the right side. Stolen back then by the Avalanche. Here's Bardakov through center. Kiviranta, cross-ice pass. Is stolen back then by the Avalanche. Nelson tried to play it out. It comes back to center. And dumped in by Brent Burns anyhow. Valeri Nichushkin. Here on the right side. Clears it down low. Seattle gets it back and chips it all the way back down into the Colorado zone. Now Wedgewood giving back then to Sam Malinsky. Malinsky pass through center. Grabbed by Bardakov, a backhand denied there. Here's Melanson. Fighting on the right side with Nick Waugh. Very tall center there for the Avalanche since he was acquired from the Maple Leafs. Thrown to center then. Here's Bardakov. Comes in. Shoots it. Blocked. Puck slides in on Decord, who makes the save. Not a lot of opportunities here these last couple minutes. Shots are 7-3. And the Avalanche have been one of the best teams in the NHL when it comes to scoring first. 40 of their 63 games that they've played, they have scored the first goal in. And the crazy thing is, they're not the only team that has. Minnesota has as well. Columbus there with 39. Those teams love to score first. Avalanche get it back now on the right side, approaching the halfway mark of this opening period. Avalanche open the scoring. It's 1-0. Chandler Stevenson now down low in the zone, battling forward with Natchez. Taken back then by Colorado. Here they come through center. Tays will flick that one down low into the Seattle zone. Now Dunn battling for it. It's broken off the boards then and chipped back to center. Racing now with speed is Stevenson, trying to get around McCarr. Grabbed back then down low by Devon Tays. Ahead then for Kadri. Stolen back then by Seattle and cleared to center. Now Tays. On the right side, banked off the boards to center. Kadri to Natchez. Natchez loops around now up top. Drop back then for MacKinnon. MacKinnon, pass over, and Kelly can't convert. Seattle will flick this one to center. Grab back then by the Avalanche, down low in their own zone. Kulak there over then for Malinsky behind the net. Brett Kulak up to Parker Kelly. Here's Kelly through the neutral zone. Shoots it into the chest of Decord, who makes the save and also loses his mask at the same time. Somebody on their honeymoon here at the Seattle Kraken game. That's pretty cool. Marty Natchez from Devon Tays and Nathan MacKinnon makes it a 1-0 lead for Colorado with 9:07 to go in the opening period. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary stream. We have been grinding here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody's support. Keeping up on our 2 shorts a day, 1 long form video a day, and then whatever we have after that in terms of streams and all that stuff, we do that as well. Non-stop posting here on the channel, and the ideas are flowing. And I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot. All right. Make sure the shots are right. 8-3. My apologies. Joey Decord having to make some saves here early. Not so much as Mackenzie Blackwood. Pretty lopsided game in that perspective. Again, like I'm going to preach this a lot. This is a huge game for Seattle. San Jose's right there on you. You have to keep winning. You got to get a win here tonight. You're sliding. You've lost 3 games in a row. San Jose's now, I don't know if the actual network was right. I'm pretty sure they're tied. Yeah, they're tied. So it's not like San Jose's right there with them. Unless if I'm wrong. Let me refresh my feed here. No, San Jose is above them. You're not below the play. My thing was bugging. You're now below the playoff line. You've lost 3 games in a row. I know this is a hard team to play, but you got to win. Got to get a win here. This is huge. Here's Blackenberg now. Down low then. A shot there from Kulak is denied by Decord. Rebound was there. Kulak now below the line. Backhanded into the corner. Brandon Montour. Back over to Jordan Eberle now on the right side. Nelson. Fighting with Montour. Back over then for Ryan Lindgren. Chip down low there. Here's Val Nichushkin. Over then for Nelson. Nelson up top. Coming into the zone is Brindley. Gavin Brindley now below the line. Back up top. Burns a shot. And that one is blocked as it slides back to the right side. Now Eberle over there then for Beniers. Cleared back to center. Nelson steals it back. Here's Nichushkin. Kept in by the Avs. Brindley a shot. Blocked there by Eberle. Down low in the corner now, Brandon Montour. Montour fighting with Nelson. Nichushkin throws it up top. Burns shoots it. And that one is blocked. Kraken have been out here for a while. They will flick it back to center. Now Manson will pick it up down low. That's an icing with 7:57 to play. Avalanche with their new trade deadline acquisitions. Let's go over the moves here. Nick Waugh coming in from Toronto will fit in well there on that 3C spot, I would say. Nick Blackenberg could be a good second or third pairing defenseman. And as well as that too, you get a guy as well in Nazem Kadri, who is the biggest acquisition of them all. He'll fit in well there also. Thank you, 8 more. I appreciate it. Do you not like altitude? I think they're okay. Here's Makar. Pass up then to Bardakov. Zakar Bardakov will dump it down low. Seattle gets it back. Decord throws it behind his own net. Avalanche are still hemming the Kraken here in their own zone. Brindley, big hit there down low by Melanson. Up top then to Taze. Taze to the point then to Makar. Cale Makar down low on the right side. Seattle gets it back. Poke check to center. Now Myers battling for it. Back down low then for Taze. Devon Taze will regroup. Gives it up then for Natchez. Marty Natchez now through the neutral zone. Circles around. Looks for options. Cross ice pass. Coming to the zone. Then pass over. They score! Nazem Kadri with his first goal as an Avalanche. Kind of. I think MacKinnon might have gotten that actually. So it might be Nathan MacKinnon's goal. But the Avalanche have taken a 2-0 lead. Sorry, I forgot to start my clock. I'm not sure if Kadri got the rebound in front, but regardless of who scored it or not, we'll take a look at the replay here. It's MacKinnon. No, Kadri doesn't even touch that. Yeah, that's Nathan MacKinnon's goal. Assisted by Marty Natchez and Devon Taze. Another goal for MacKinnon. Another multi-point there for both Natchez and MacKinnon. MacKinnon scores his Watch with Nordic leading 16th goal in a commentary. Nobody has more than him in Watch with Nordic streams. Here's Sam Malinsky now down low behind the net. Again, I keep reiterating it, and I know you're going to be tired of me saying it, but this is a must-win game for the Kraken. Here's Stevenson down the right side. Carries it around then behind the net. Pass in front. And banged on the boards and around. Wraparound chance is broken up there as well. Now Natchez back to Chandler Stevenson. Stevenson then down low for Larson. Below the line now, Vince Dunn. Will move this one through center. Dunn waits. Banks it off the boards then back into the Avalanche zone. Brent Burns to Manson. Off the boards then for Drury. Taken back then down low by Parker Kelly. Below the line then the Burns. Burns over then on the right side. Montour battling forward with Drury. He's held off the puck. Now grabbed then by Kelly. Here's Kelly into the zone now below the line. Battling for it then with Lindgren. Cleared up to center. Kakko to right. Ahead then now to Cadden. Back over then for Kakko on the right side. Stolen back then by the Avalanche to center. Kelly almost shot it into the Kraken bench. It's grabbed down low in the Seattle zone anyhow. And here comes Berkeley Cadden into the zone. Broken up immediately by Taze. Eberle behind the net then back to Nelson. Nichushkin battling for it there as well. Valerie Nichushkin now will brank it through center back into the Seattle zone, and it's blown dead for an icing against Colorado. So it's the same three players that scored on the initial goal in the first 4 minutes. First one was Natchez, Tays, MacKinnon. Second one was MacKinnon, Natchez, Tays. So all three of those players, Natchez, MacKinnon, and Tays, with multi-point games here already. Face-off in the Avalanche zone, then won by Seattle. Larson, pass in front. McCann shoots it, and that one goes back down low into the corner. Larson fighting then with Joel Kiviranta. Kiviranta down low now in the corner, battling for it on the right side with Larson. Beniers over then for Dunn. Dump down low for Eberle. Seattle needs to respond here. Beniers behind the net. Back over to McCann. McCann waits. Doesn't have a lot of options. Will dump it down low. Tipped in front. Save. Rebounds there. And Eberle could not convert. Nichushkin back to Nelson. Banks it back into the Seattle zone. Beniers gets there first. Not before Nichushkin hems on him. Now down low. Dunn. To center, then Malinsky battles for it. Avalanche grab it back. It's blown dead for an offsides with 4:33 to go in this opening period. So good opportunity there by Beniers, and Eberle nearly had a rebound, but he put it just wide. Shots are 11-4, and it's 2-0 Colorado. Oh boy. Avalanche off to a very early and relatively commanding lead here in this opening period. Not too big of a surprise. The Avalanche are the Avalanche, so it shouldn't be that crazy to anybody. But, you know, again, you're obviously a little bit disappointed with the way your team's played. All right.
I've got this old bike from another store, and I got the receipt right here. I'd like for you to beat it with a better deal on a souped-up model. What? At Verizon, anyone can bring in their AT&T or T-Mobile bill, and they'll give you a better deal. Isn't Verizon expensive? No, better deal. Best network. I'm sorry, man.
Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. It's a 2-0 lead here for Colorado, with 4:33 to go in this opening period. Some physicality here off rip, too. These two teams have played each other once before, back on December 16th. It was a 5-3 win for the Avalanche in that game. They will play each other one more time on the final day of the regular season. Back here again in Seattle. 10:30 p.m. start time. Maybe we'll do that game. Who knows? Haven't looked at April yet. So far away still. Down low now in the corner, Vince Dunn. Battling forward with Natchez off the boards now. Kadri fighting with Tolvin, and up top, Makar dumps it down low to Kadri. Kadri then to MacKinnon. Larson below the line, then grabbing it back in the zone is Gaudreau. Now Vince Dunn. Back to Frederick Gaudreau. Will break the puck through center now. Chandler Stevenson will clear it down low. Makar over then for Larson. Chandler Stevenson battling for it down low. Bank to center. Gaudreau a shot. And that one is blocked. Here's Sam Malinsky. Played back down low then for Drury. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first period. Avalanche with a 2-0 lead on Seattle. Now Lindgren battling for it then with Natchez as he's down low in the corner. There as well as Bardakov. 3:20 left to go. Finally the puck comes free. Montour Off the boards then to Berkeley Cadden. 2-on-2. Cadden comes in, shoots it. It goes above Wedgewood and wide. Kept in the zone though by Seattle. Montour fires it and gloved by Wedgewood through the traffic. Ryan Lindgren out there on the ice playing against his former team. Lindgren was there yesterday. Lindgren was there last year for the Avalanche on their first-round matchup against the Dallas Stars. It was a mid-season acquisition. He did not come back and decided to sign with Seattle. Face-off in the Avalanche zone. Nelson wins the draw back to Manson. Manson cleared off the boards, then ahead for Nichushkin. Nichushkin up top. Drops it back. Manson below the line then for Nelson. Broken up then down low in the corner, Nichushkin. Over to the right side, here's Berkeley Cadden. Cadden will carry it through center, 3-on-2 back to Kakko. Burns gets to it first, tries to poke check it away. Below the line, Brent Burns off the boards to Nichushkin. Montour battling for it on the right side as well. 2.5 minutes to go in the opening period. Here's Gaudreau. Deeks into the zone. He kind of gets knocked off that puck. Whistle blown dead here for an offsides. By the way, that goal there from Marty Natchez was his 30th goal of the season. And you take a look at Brent Burns. 989 consecutive games played in NHL history. He might become the second player to reach 1,000 games played in a row. He is second in active streaks behind the iconic Phil Kessel. Kraken battling for it now down low in the corner. Larson up top. Fires it on. Denied there by Wedgewood. Here's Beniers. In the corner back to Eberle. Eberle below the line then back over to Beniers. McCann circles up top. Pass back down low. Now Natchez fighting with Dunn. Vince Dunn throws it then below the line. McCann fighting forward here in the corner. Pass in front. Eberle fumbled that puck. And a high stick there on Natchez. Rebound in front. And play is blown dead as Natchez is on the ground. There is blood, and this should be a power play. 100%. This looks like it will be a double minor. Natchez has blood coming off of him, and a lot of it. He gets up on his own and goes to the bench, but this should be a 4-minute power play for the Avalanche. They're going to review it. And yeah, Eberle does get him up there in the stick. Whether it's intentional or not, that is a penalty. And yeah, I think we're going to see a 4-minute power play for the Avalanche coming up here. I would be shocked if this wasn't a 4-minute power play. It'll be at least a 2. Natchez will head to the room. Looks like it will be a 4-minute power play. The refs have yet to officially announce it. Here we go. All right, double minor there for Jordan Eberle. So how a double minor works, for those who do not know, it is a 4-minute power play for the Avalanche. If the Avalanche score before the 2-minute mark, the power play will not be removed. They will keep going. If they score a goal after the 2-minute, or if they score a goal within 2 minutes of it, or if they score a goal in the second half of the 4-minute, in the final 2 minutes, the power play goes away. But if they score in the first half, it does not. Sorry, I'm tired. That's my excuse. All right, face-off here in the Seattle zone. 4-minute power play for the Avalanche. This will carry over into the second. Makar to MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon now on the right side. Down low, Raw. Backhands it. Denied there by DeCord. Watt to MacKinnon. Back over to Nelson. Nelson up top then for Makar on the right side. Seattle will clear to center. Cale Makar regroups here now in his own end. Some overwhelming boos here. The Avalanche's power play has been really bad. 30%. Here's Nelson to Makar. McCarr back to MacKinnon, and it's crazy to think, too. Here's Nelson, a shot, save, rebound, they score! That's easy pickings there for Nicholas Waugh. And a power play goal there for the new acquisition. It's 3-0 Avalanche. A minute 12 to go. This game might be over before we're even through 20 minutes of play. Nicholas Waugh, power play goal. There's not much that Decord can do there. Assisted by Brock Nelson and Nathan MacKinnon. 3-point night for MacKinnon already. And the Avalanche with a 3-0 lead. Again, it's right off a rebound, right into the back of the net. What can you do? Power play is reduced to 2 minutes. Seattle will dump it into the Avalanche zone. Wedgewood will play it back to Burns. Brent Burns over then for Devon Tays. Tays will regroup back in the zoned end. So Nick Waugh already looking like a pretty useful ad there. He's there on the second unit also. Dumped down low into the Seattle zone. Here's Chandler Stevenson with 40 seconds to go. Pass up ahead then for Tolvanen. Delayed offsides against the Kraken. Here's Devon Tays. Carries it through center. Tays up then for Brindley. Brindley with some room. Backhand denied by Decord. He will freeze it with 26 seconds left. You're going to bed, Robert? All right, well, good night, man. Good luck. We'll see if Seattle can come back. Maybe you'll wake up to a pleasant surprise. Kadri needs a goal as well. We'll see, bro. We will see. Face-off coming up here now in the Kraken zone. 26 seconds to play. Face-off won by the Avalanche. Nelson to McCarr. Right side then for Natchez. Natchez to MacKinnon. Pass back up top. Shot denied by Decord, who has been hemmed in his own zone. Shots are now 15-8 with 16 seconds left to play. Face-off coming up here now in the Seattle zone once again. MacKinnon versus Stevenson. Off the draw. Played back up top to McCarr. 10 seconds left. MacKinnon at the point. Throws it down low to Natchez in the corner. Seattle will attempt to clear. They will do so. And that will do it for period number 1. A 3-0 lead for the Avalanche. After 20 minutes of play, goals come from Nicholas Waugh, Nathan MacKinnon, and Marty Natchez. And this game may already be over before it starts. Avalanche lead 3-0 at first intermission. That being said, folks, it is first intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for the start of period number 2 momentarily. This is the countdown to the second period. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, guys. I'll be right back. Comment any questions or anything you guys have in the comment section down below. We will discuss all the things and the stats and the schedule and all that stuff when I return. Alrighty, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. How's it going? Doing some clip editing here. It's not even letting me upload clips, even though I deleted all these videos off my phone. That's fine. Whatever. I'll delete more. All right, so end of 20 here in Colorado. It is a 3-0 lead for the Avalanche after 20 minutes of play. Let's go over the goals here in this one. So we start off with Marty Necas with a primary assist from Devon Tays, putting the Avalanche on the board to make it a 1-0 lead early. It was a nice pass that was initially by Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon should have gotten the primary assist, but Devon Tays got a little bit of a touch on that puck, and as a result, he gets the primary there. And Marty Necas picks up the goal, makes it a 1-0 lead for Colorado there. And then later on in the game, Nathan MacKinnon with a nice little pass in front that deflects off of a Kraken player makes it a 2-0 lead for the Avalanche there as well. And then also in that frame too, Nicholas Waugh gets a power play goal, makes it 3-0 in favor of the Avalanche from Brock Nelson and Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon already with a 3-point night. He has been absolutely incredible here, but I'm not surprised. I don't think anybody should be surprised, to be honest with you. We know what Nathan MacKinnon can do. We know the points that he can rack up. We know the game that he plays. I don't think anybody should be surprised whatsoever that we find ourselves in this current position where MacKinnon has 3 points. And I'm trying to delete things here because for some reason it's not letting me edit clips. And I'm trying to delete all these clips off my phone. You guys have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about? Feel free to comment them down below. We will be live tomorrow for Islanders and Kings. That is the second game up, or that is the game we're doing tomorrow. We did the previous one where it was back in LA. This time it will be in New York. So looking forward to that one here tonight as well. And then on, I believe, Sunday at 8 p.m., we are doing Kraken and Panthers. So we got another Seattle stream coming up here in just a little bit. So Kraken fans, don't worry. We got plenty of Seattle commentary streams coming up here on the channel. So stay tuned. Wish there was a select all option. Make this a lot faster. Let's take a look at the stats here amongst these teams. And take a look at where the Avalanche players now move up in terms of scoring. Because they do move up. A really good game here from Nathan MacKinnon. He now has a 3-point night. That puts him at 107 points on the season. He now passes Nikita Kucherov. I'm pretty sure. Let me refresh my page. Maybe Kucherov had a really good night tonight. Refresh my page here. And, yeah, Kucherov had a 2-point night tonight, so he's at 106, but MacKinnon passes him right away. Now he has 107. He is getting up there on Connor McDavid, who has 110. And MacKinnon picks up his league-leading 44th goal of the season and also gets his 62nd and 63rd assist of the year. But also in the top 10, Marty Natchez, multi-point game tonight, up to 79 points on the year. Natchez has been phenomenal this year. I don't know if, like, him leaving Carolina, as good as he was, he's gotten even better on Colorado. And, I mean, look, does playing with Nathan MacKinnon help? That? Certainly, but it doesn't influentiate everything. Natchez is still a very good player regardless of that. And then Devon Toews with a 2-point game tonight as well. Let me just pull up Toews' stats here on my screen. I'm trying to find him here. Where are you at, Toews? No way he's this low. Am I blind? Am I blind? I might be blind, guys. Where's Toews? Are you going to make me look it up? All right. Apparently, Devon Toews does not have as much points as I think he does. So let me figure this out here really quick. Sorry, guys. Avalanche. Here we go. Yeah, Devon Toews. Oh, my God, he only has 15 points. He now has moved up to 17 points on the season. Only 15 points this year for Toews. I'm surprised by that. He hasn't really missed that much time. He's only missed like 13 games. I know that plays a factor, but not that much of a factor. I'm a little shocked by that. I'm a little shocked he doesn't have more points. Interesting. All right, give us a couple minutes here, then we will go over the other scores around the NHL because there's plenty of them. Forgot to do this after the game was over. All right, there we go. Three 3-0 lead here for the Avalanche in this opening period. Let's take a look at the scores around the NHL because there's plenty of other games that went down here tonight as I accidentally pressed on freaking players. It's not what I wanted to do. All right, give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's go over the completed games here in the NHL. So Sharks and Bruins, 4-2 win for the San Jose Sharks. Michael Misa opened up the scoring. Then Tyler Toffoli followed up by Colin Graff and William Eklund, who had a nasty goal. I encourage you guys to go watch that William Eklund goal. It was pretty damn nice. Fraser Minnick and David Pastrnak tried to make the game close, but unfortunately they could not. And it was a final score of a 4-2 win there for the Sharks. Caps and Sabres, we live streamed earlier today. Sam Carrick opened up the scoring, followed by Ryan Leonard tying the game in the second. And then Jacob Chychrun late in the third period gave the Sabres the 2-1 win, or gave the Capitals the 2-1 win. Sorry, just doing the clip here really quick. As well as that too, Ducks and Maple Leafs. Matias Maccelli opened up the scoring then for Toronto, followed by Cutter Gauthier and Ian Moore in that first period there for Anaheim. Second period, Pavel Mintyukov made it a 3-1 hockey game. Toronto would storm back. Austin Matthews, before he was kneed by Radko Gudas. That's a rough injury. That was a rough play. He might get suspended for that. And then John Tavares as well tied the game up at 3. William Nylander made it a 4-3 hockey game in the third period. Benoit Oliver Groulx with his first goal of the season. I don't even know if he scored goals in the NHL, but prior to this year. He is a former Anaheim Duck, I believe. He's a a French hockey player. Let me look at his stats. I don't know. That might be his first NHL goal. Seriously. Yeah. No, that's his third NHL goal. Never mind. His third goal in the NHL. That's nuts. But Benoit Oliver Gross makes it 5-3 Toronto. Matthew Nyes had an empty net goal, made it 6-3. Then Killorn added on some insurance, made it look better than what it was. 6-4 final there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Lightning and Red Wings. Red Wings are kind of sliding. Jake Gensel opened the scoring in the second period, followed by Gage Gonzalez in the third. JT Comfort then made it a 2-1 hockey game with 7:05 to go. Then Gage Gonzalez scored late in the third period, and then followed by a Jake Gensel empty net goal. So multi-goal games from Gensel and Gonzalez make it a 4-1 final score there for Tampa Bay over the Red Wings. Blue Jackets and Panthers. 2-1 final score there for Florida in overtime. Adam Fantilli opened up the scoring in the second. Sam Bennett tied it late in the third period. And then Sam Reinhart in overtime made it a 2-1 win for Florida. That's a big win there for the Panthers. They keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Devils in Flames was a 5-4 win for the Calgary Flames. Johnny Beecher opened up the scoring, followed by Kevin Ball. Then Tisplikov for the Devils, who was a trade deadline acquisition, made it 2-1. Johnny Beecher picked up his second of the game, shorthanded to make it a 3-1 lead there for Calgary. Simone Nemec made it 3-2 then. And then Sharon Govich added on more insurance, made it 4-2. And then Backlund made it 5-2. Then Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes made the game closer, but the Devils could not prevail. You look at the other games then as well. Blues and Hurricanes. The Blues went on to win that game 3-1. Mark Jankowski opened up the scoring, then 3 unanswered goals. 2 from Jimmy Snuggerud at that. And Pavel Buchnevich had the empty net goal. The final score is 3-1 St. Louis. And then you take a look at Oilers and Stars, which was another game there as well. Jamie Benn opened up the scoring in that game, followed by Sam Steele, Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnston, and Jason Robertson again, making it a 5-0 game for Dallas. Then the Oilers would answer back. Evan Bouchard and Jason Dickinson. Then Jamie Benn and Matt Duchene scored 2 more after that to make it a 7-2 final score there for Dallas over the Oilers. Not going to lie, not very confident about Dallas or about Edmonton's chances in the playoffs. They just seem to make me doubt them every game they play against the playoff team. Wild and Flyers. Flyers won that game 3-2 in a shootout. Emil Andre opened the scoring, followed by Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov making it a 2-1 hockey game. Owen Tippett, late in the third period, tied the game up, and then the shootout winner came from Travis Konechny, giving the Flyers the 3-2 shootout win, and they keep their playoff hopes somewhat alive. And then last but not least, Rangers and Jets was a 6-3 win there for the Rangers. Adam Fox opened the scoring. Isaac Rosen tied the game. Then Lafreniere made it 2-1. Connor then tied it at 2-2. Then the Rangers would make it 3-2. Ty Cartier, followed by Velarde making it 3-3. Then the Rangers were away with things there. Gabe Perreault, Adam Edstrom, and Noah Laba making it a 6-3 final score there for the Rangers. And those are all the games that have ended. There are games that are currently going on that we'll cover in the second intermission.
Official insurance partner of the Seattle Kraken.
That's why. Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 here between the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken here, live from Climate Pledge Arena. First period recap, goals were scored by Marty Necas, Nathan MacKinnon, and Nicholas Waugh. And just as I predicted, I just did it a little bit too early. Philip Grubauer is coming in relief of Joey Daccord. So Daccord is done for the night after allowing 3 goals on 15 shots. And Philip Grubauer will enter the game here for the Kraken. And not a great game there for Daccord. Grubauer, as I kind of predicted, funny enough, just a little bit too early. He is now playing in his 7th Watch with Nordic commentary stream, the first ever time he's been in relief here tonight. And now we get ready for the start of period number 2. Avalanche are still on the power play. And they have the 3-0 lead. We'll see what more they can add to it. Period number 2 between the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken. Alrighty, sorry about that, guys. Trying to edit this last clip here. Okay, period number 2 is underway. Face-off won here by the Avalanche. Now Cale Makar down low in his own zone. Makar will drop it back then for Necas. Marty Necas now drops it back for MacKinnon. MacKinnon into the zone to Nelson. Brock Nelson on the right side. Whistle blown dead then for an offsides with 19:45 to go. 34 seconds left on the power play, so don't worry, it's not that much longer. But the Avalanche have certainly been the better team here tonight. Face-off outside of the Seattle zone, then won by Colorado. Here's Makar back to Kadri, who will dump it down low then into the Seattle zone. Banked off the boards then for Necas. Pass in front, cleared away then by Ryan Lindgren all the way down low then into the Colorado zone. MacKinnon drop back up to Necas. Marty Necas back over to MacKinnon. Less than 10 seconds to go on the power play. Nelson drops it up top then to Makar. Cale Makar poke checked away to center. Cale Makar then will get it back on the right side then below the line battling for it with Jordan Eberle. Eberle out of the box. Plays it down low. Power play comes to a close. Pass in front. And Beniers a drive there at Wedgewood is swiftly denied. And again, Philip Grubauer is in for Joey Daccord after Daccord allowed 3 goals on 15 shots. Not a great performance there for Daccord. .800 save percentage. He has struggled his last couple of games for Seattle. Philip Grubauer, on the other hand, has actually excelled. Colorado picks up the puck then down low, battling for it on the right side. Then Jordan Eberle. Cleared back down low then for Blackenberg, who will throw it out to center for the Avalanche. Here they come the other way. Broken up back down low into the Colorado zone. Tays behind the net. Devon Tays gets it back down low. Hey, what's up, Lee? Yeah, I saw the Sharks won tonight. That was a nice goal by Eklund. Good to see you. I'll be doing a Shark stream soon, don't worry. Here's Parker Kelly off the boards then for Nicholas Waugh. Waugh down low then for Drury. Drury feeds it up top to Burns. Pass over, shot. Goes off of Grubauer and wide. Now here comes Berkeley Cadden through center. Will bank it back down low to the Colorado zone. Burns. Over then for Manson. Kept in the zone by the Kraken. Down low to Kakko, who can't get the shot on clearly. Below the line then, Joel Kiviranta. Seattle shoots it. And that one goes wide. Lindgren fires it again. That one is blocked. Here's Nichushkin. Through center now. Carries it into the zone. Broken up then by Seattle. Puck slides in on Grubauer, who will make the save and cover up. Shot 16-9 in favor of the Avalanche. See you, Lily. Don't worry, I'll do one soon. Face-off coming up here now again in the Seattle zone. Here's McCann versus MacKinnon. Face-off is blown dead due to a violation. Kadri will come back in as MacKinnon is kicked out. And face-off here down low in the Seattle zone. It's won by the Avalanche. Malinsky up top. Pass back to Kulak. Down low then for Natchez. Marty Natchez over then for Kadri. In the corner, Kulak. Puck slides in on Grubauer. He makes the save and covers it up. Sharks find themselves currently now in a playoff spot with a win tonight against the Boston Bruins. Avalanche looking to clinch a playoff berth here, hopefully over the next couple of days. I think the magic number is 100 points. Face-off in the Seattle zone here, won by the Kraken. Alexiak back to Tolvanen, down low then below the line. Seattle gets it back to center. Chandler Stevenson into the zone now. Down low, Vince Dunn behind the net. Pass in front and denied there by Wedgewood. Here's Dunn battling for it in the corner then with Kadri. Bank back up to the point then. Gaudreau battling for it. Will just poke check it furthermore into the Seattle zone for the Kraken to regroup. Larson over then for Dunn. Vince Dunn through center. Chandler Stevenson then off the boards back to Gaudreau. Pass over, backhand there, denied by Wedgewood. As Seattle starting to get a couple of opportunities here. Few shots to open up this period. And that's what you want. Again, like Seattle, they need to get more offensive zone chances, especially in front of the net. Wedgewood does a very good job at keeping rebound control. Freddie Gaudreau had 7 shots on Tuesday versus Nashville. Career high. Face-off in the Avalanche zone, won by Seattle. Jordan Eberle now behind the net, battling forward with McCarr. Penalty coming up here against the Avalanche. Beniers will throw it up top, 6-on-5. Down low now on the right side, McCann. Holds it up top. Jared McCann back over then to Nichushkin. Below the line then, Lindgren back over for Berkeley Cadden. Berkeley Cadden down low, back up to Beniers, up top. Montour will flick it down low. Avalanche will touch it, whistle is blown, and we are going to get a Seattle power play. And here is a big opportunity for the Kraken. And that is a holding call there on Devon Tays as Eberle was knocked down to the ground. So Eberle takes a penalty and also draws one. And we will get a Kraken power play. This is a good opportunity here. Face-off here in the Avalanche zone. Stevenson taking the draw against Drury. Face-off won by Seattle up top. Done a shot! And that one goes wide. Now on the right side, Avalanche get it back. Here they come through center. Kelly loops it back around then into his own zone. Back over to Brent Burns. Burns now feeds it up top. Stolen back then by Seattle in their own zone. They'll regroup. Shots 15-11. Chandler Stevenson carries it down the other way then for Eberle. Up top, cross-ice pass to Beniers. Down low, Stevenson waits. Pass over! It's in the crease and cleared by the Avalanche. They had a good opportunity there, but could not get it past. It was right there. Here's Vince Dunn. Stolen back then by Brindley. Shorthanded break coming the other way. Gavin Brindley now on the right side trying to play that one down low. Seattle gets it back. Dunn. Up to Beniers. Beniers, a backhand there is blocked. Back up to Dunn. Vince Dunn over then for Stevenson. Deeks into the zone. Loses the puck. It slides it on Wedgewood. It's in the crease. Jabbing at it. And Wedgewood will cover as Chandler Stevenson is on top of him. And it looks like he's just trying to get out of the position he was in there. But a really good pass by Stevenson. Nearly got it to Jordan Eberle to tuck that one, but could not get enough stick on it to get it across the goal line. Avalanche got it in time and cleared. But a great opportunity regardless for Seattle. You got to keep those going. Ooh, I kept my timer going. Whoops. Face-off one here by Seattle. Shot on goes wide. Cleared all the way back into the Kraken zone. Here's Brandon Montour now behind the net. Montour will drop it back then. Cadden through the zone to Tolvanen. Tolvanen off the boards and into the corner. Nelson. Back to the right side then now. Kakko dumps it around behind the net then for the Kraken. Avalanche battling for it in the zone. Kulak thrown back up top. Puck deflects up in the air. And out of play with 14:46 to go. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Not a crazy stream, and that's to be expected. Not upset about it, though. It is what it is. You just got to keep grinding and commentating no matter how bad the stream is doing or how bad the views are. Face off in the Avalanche zone. Kelly. Bank back down low. Burns back to Drury. Here's Jack Drury now through center. Back over then to Kelly. Kelly dekes in. Loses the puck. He's tripped. And no call there. One last push for the Kraken. Berkeley Cadden comes into the zone. Dekes the D. He's knocked down. That'll be a penalty. And the Kraken are back to the power play. I don't even need to change the graphic. Seattle will head back to the power play. It's Brent Burns who will go to the box. And the Kraken will get another shot to put themselves on the board here as Berkeley Cadden tried to deke around Burns. He was tripped. And that'll result in a Seattle power play for the second time tonight. Brent Burns, longtime NHLer and in his first season with the Avalanche. Face off in the Colorado zone, then won by Seattle. Here's Dunn. Below the line then for Eberle. Eberle will clear it around then. Back up top, Chandler Stevenson. Kraken had no shots from the last power play. Here's Beniers a shot. Fans on the puck, kept in the zone though. Cadden up top. Dunn waits to Stevenson up top. Down low then back over to Cadden. Berkeley Cadden to the point. Shoots it and it goes wide. Chandler Stevenson. Down low. Cross ice pass then. Tried to get it back to McCann, but couldn't get there in time. Here's Dunn. Back to McCann. McCann will drop it back then through center. Chandler Stevenson comes in. Gets around Nelson. Backhands it into the corner. Stevenson to McCann. McCann to Beniers. Beniers up top to Dunn. Dunn. Back to McCann. Back to Dunn. Down low then Eberle. Over to Chandler Stevenson once again. Back over to Beniers. Beniers to Stevenson up top. Dunn comes in. Shoots it. Blocked. The rebound was there. Here's Beniers back to McCann. Now Jordan Eberle on the right side. Eberle will chip this one all the way back down into the Seattle zone as the clock winds down further. 50 seconds to go on the power play for Seattle. Brandon Montour carries it through center. Back over then for Kakko. Drop back to Tolvanen. Tolvanen to Kakko. Kakko feeds it back up top. Coming into the zone to the right side. Montour backhand save denied. Rebound. Cadden a shot. That one stopped as well. Tolvanen. Back to Berkeley Cadden. Cadden to Tolvanen. Tolvanen up top. Tries to keep that one in the zone. He'll do so successfully. Cadden back over then. Down low for Wright. Shane Wright to Cadden. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Berkeley Cadden back to Montour. One-timer. Denied by Wedgewood. And now battling for it down low. Nick Waugh gets it back over to Malinsky. Sam Malinsky will carry this one through center. Pass back to Burns. Burns out of the box. Pass over. And broken up then by Seattle. Pass up then ahead for Myers on a breakaway. Denied by Wedgewood. A lot of Avalanche fans in the crowd. Here's Natchez. Bank back down low then for Malinsky. Taken back then by Seattle up top. Myers fires it down into the corner. Now Ryan Winterton fighting with Kulak. Bank back up top. Lindgren shoots it and denied by Scott Wedgewood. Some great chances here for Seattle, but they cannot get it across. Shots are now even at 15 apiece. Still a 3-0 lead for the Avalanche. Ben Myers with a good chance there, but could not get it across the goal line either. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Again, we will be live tomorrow for Kings and Islanders. And then after that, we'll be live on Sunday for Panthers and Kraken. So we're going to keep cracking at the Seattle Kraken and keep doing streams for them. So you guys better get used to it. All right. 11:42 left to go in the third. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We're now 60 subscribers away from 40 or 5,400. Again, you guys can tell that this is a little bit off. It says 5,300. We already hit that milestone. It's supposed to be 536, not 520, not 5236. We'll see if the Kraken can change momentum here and possibly get themselves on the board. If they can get themselves on the board, a 3-0 lead is not impossible. It is the Avalanche, though. It could be pretty difficult, but it's happened before. So we'll see what happens. Face off here in the Colorado zone. Shots are 15-14. I apologize. We're back to 5-on-5. Avalanche will break this one through center. Kadri dumps it down low then into the Seattle zone. Dunn back over to Tolvanen. Through center now, it's Larson. Will shoot it in there on Wedgewood. He'll make the save and cover right up. Now 11:25 remaining here. Look at that. He's got a little princess on his helmet there with a dog. That's cute. Maybe that's his kids who decided to do that. You see that a lot. Hey, what's up, Sharky? That's sick. Shots are 15 apiece. 11:25 to go in the second period. Berkeley Cadden then against Natchez. Face-off won by the Avalanche and cleared to center. Here's Gavin Brindley down the right side. Loops it around. Brindley up top. Shot is blocked. Makar comes right in then as well. Behind the net then looked for options. Makar up top to Taze. Down low then for Drury. Can't get there in time. Seattle below the line then will play it back to center. Kakko flicks it into the zone. Cadden comes in, shoots it. Denied by Wedgewood. The rebound was there, but he could not convert. Here's Cale Makar to the right side. Makar shoots it through the crease there of Grubauer. Here's Taze. Back to Bardakov. Behind the net then for Brindley. I apologize if I say Decord. My brain's not branding tonight, if you can't tell. Approaching the halfway mark of the game in the period. Bardakov dumps it around then behind the net. Back over then for Natchez. Nelson below the line. Seattle plays it up top. Colorado keeps it in. Kiviranta. Stolen back then by Burns. Below the line then and grabbed by Manson. Kakko trying to force a turnover there. And Avalanche will get it out anyhow. Kiviranta now regroups back in his own zone. Shots are now 16-15 in favor of Seattle. They have now taken over in terms of the shooting department. Puck is banked off the boards and back to center. Here comes Beniers. Matty Beniers into the zone. Throws it down low into the corner. Poke checked away there by Wedgewood. Now Eberle on the right side. Feeds it back up top. Montour, a shot! Saved by Wedgewood. Thought maybe for a second, but nope. Here's Malinsky. Back over then to Kiviranta through to center. Marty Necas now back out of the bench after taking a brutal high stick in the opening period. Here's MacKinnon. Into the zone up top. Malinsky! Denied by Grubauer. Here's Ryan Winterton. Gets knocked off that puck by MacKinnon. Malinsky back into the zone. Pass down low. MacKinnon could not get the shot on. Montour then behind the net over for Gaudreau. Poke checked in the air now. Kadri. Below the line then for MacKinnon. Puck is banked up top. Devon Tays to MacKinnon. Intercepted then by Seattle on the right side. Nathan MacKinnon. Pass over. Nobody is there for the Avalanche. Now Necas gets it back. Marty Necas up top to Makar. Pass over to Tays. Tays to MacKinnon. Pass back to Necas is broken up. Jordan Eberle now regroups in his own end. 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. We are over the halfway mark of the game in the period. Eberle will dump it down low to the Avalanche zone. Makar off the boards to Tays. Devon Tays now in his own end. Back to Makar. Makar looks for options. Cross-ice pass broken up there at center. Grabbed back then by the Kraken. Winterton dumps it down low then into the Avalanche zone. Makar up then for Waugh. Nick Waugh will carry this one through the zone. Back over for Parker Kelly. A delayed penalty here coming up against the Kraken. Tripping on Parker Kelly. The Avalanche led to the power play with 7 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the second period. The Avalanche still with that 3-0 lead, but Seattle's playing better. They're getting offensive zone chances. They're pressuring the Avalanche. It's just a matter of, again, keeping that pressure, keeping that same pressure throughout the entire game from moving forward and getting those grade A chances. A lot of Seattle's chances have come from the outside. You got to get in there and get those grade A opportunities. 100%. So power play coming up for the Avalanche with their 3-0 lead. They can make it a 4-0 lead if they play their cards right. So we will see if they can do so. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Like the stream down below. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the commentary. Woof. All right, back from commercial break. Avalanche will head to a power play here up 3-0. We will see if they can convert it as a tripping call on Adam Larson as Parker Kelly was tripped to the ground. And we'll see if the Avalanche can furthermore build up on their lead here. Face-off won by Colorado. Makar to Necas. Necas down low to MacKinnon. MacKinnon on the right side. Pass down low. Jabbing at that puck. It goes wide of Grubauer. And Alexiak will bank that one off the boards. Kept in the zone then by Colorado. Makar to MacKinnon. MacKinnon back up top to Makar. Makar shoots it. Fanned on that puck and wide. Now Alexiak back over then for Stevenson. Grabbed over then by Seattle and cleared down the other way. I am not an Avs fan, but I'm not a Kraken fan either. I just commentate all 32 teams. Here's Cale Makar. Drops it back then through center to MacKinnon. MacKinnon off the boards to Natchez. Cross-ice pass. Nelson moves into the zone. Back to MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon looks for options. Circles around on the right side. Down low then to Natchez. Up top, McCarr to Natchez. Back down low then MacKinnon gets it back. Nathan MacKinnon to Natchez. Back to MacKinnon now on the right circle. Shoots it. Denied by Grubauer. And cleared by Seattle. 45 seconds to go here in the second period. Avalanche lead 3-0. Here's Burns. Pass up on the right side. Stolen back to by Seattle. Here's a 2-0 short-hand break. Stevenson into the zone. Pass up top. Evans a shot. He scores! Riker Evans has broken the shutout on Scott Wedgewood. A shorthanded goal. And the Kraken are on the board. It's 3-1. And suddenly things may have just gotten interesting here. Riker Evans from Chandler Stevenson off a turnover. And the Kraken have broken the shutout for Wedgewood. 3-1. And there is a massive, and I mean massive, opportunity there for Seattle. They take advantage of that. Riker Evans with his 7th goal of the season with 6:23 to go makes it 3-1. That's 12 shorthanded goals allowed from the Avalanche this year, the most in the NHL. Their power play has been really bad this year for some random reason. Up top now, Brett Kulak. Back over then for Nichushkin to the right side. Brindley. Battling for it on the right side then. Goudreau. Behind the net then and banked off the boards all the way back down into the Colorado zone. Here's Brett Kulak. Carrying it now through center. Back over to Sam Malinsky. Malinsky on the right side then for Nichushkin. Stolen back then by Seattle. Here's Beniers with speed. Beniers back to McCann battling for it then down low. McCann up top. Waiting for it then up top. Shot from Alexiak. Now rebounds there. And taken away then by the Avalanche. Here they come through center. Nichushkin. Pass up then for Kulak. Brett Kulak carries it into the zone. Kiviranta back over then for Drury. Jack Drury below the line. Battling for it then with Kiviranta over then for Parker Kelly. Up top. Cross-ice pass. Blackenberg shoots it. Blocked. Rebounds in front. And Seattle takes it right back. Here's Beniers. Dumps it off the boards and back into the Avalanche zone. Manson through center. Up to Natchez up top. Shoots it and it goes up in the air and down low. Now Shane Wright to the right side to Cadden. Kelly chips it down low to Natchez. Natchez trying to feed a pass up there. Stolen back then by Berkeley Cadden. Cadden ahead then for Capo Caco, who will dump it down low into the Colorado zone. 4.5 minutes to play in the third period. Blackenberg in the corner will take it back then for the Avalanche. Turnover in front. Seattle gets it back. Cadden a shot. He fans on it. And Colorado steals it back. Malinsky now will get it to center. Manson back to Waugh. Natchez into the zone. Puck is chipped back to center. Avalanche dump that one in down low. Shots are 20-18. In this period alone, they're 12-3 in favor of the Kraken. What a game Seattle has had here in this second. Down low in the corner then is Myers. And a whistle blown as we get some pushing and shoving between Taze and Melanson and some physicality here from Seattle's fourth line. Kraken need to invest in more offense and star power. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, like, again, they lack a big superstar. Beniers hasn't lived up to that. Maybe Berkeley Cadden can be that. It's just like, I don't feel like these guys are being managed properly. That's the other issue with it, too. But I agree with that sentiment. They need more, like, they need more star power on both sides. This is why they're going to be this middling team for so long. Maybe they make the playoffs. but I'm not holding out for a lot of hope in that remark. 3:54 to go in the second period. Faceoff is won by Seattle. Lindgren chipped off the boards to center. Avalanche trying to get it back. Here's Ryan Lindgren. Backhanded off the board. Stevenson. Chandler Stevenson drops it back. Intercepted then by Lindgren down low now. Tays fighting as well. Below the line, trying to get a pass in front. Cale Makar. The right side then for Nichushkin. Seattle gets it back. Bank back up top. Montour looks for options. Time winding down. Montour pass over. Broken up then by Cale Makar. Makar to Tays. Will flick it down low into the Seattle zone. Gaudreau fighting then with Brindley. Lindgren. Up top then for Tolvanen. Through the zone then Brandon Montour. Montour through his legs. Doesn't come into the zone. He waits for options. Then he dumps it down low. Puck comes out to center anyway. Here's MacKinnon. Back to Natchez. Natchez over to MacKinnon. MacKinnon now on the right side up top. Malinsky. He scores! And it's Nazem Kadri who tips that puck in front. And I believe that is his first goal back with the Avalanche. Not his first goal ever as an Avalanche. And it is 4-1. An acquisition there by the Avalanche midway through this season of the trade deadline. And Kadri with his 13th goal of the season. Nathan MacKinnon, his 4th point of the night, makes it 4-1, and that's a tip in front. What can you really do about that? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Colorado leads 4-1. That's a tough blow there for Seattle. They've been working hard this whole game. Puck is banked all the way back down low into the Seattle zone. Evans battling for it then with Bardakov. Grabbed back then by the Kraken. Through center, Berkeley Cadden through center. Broken up then by the Avalanche. Chip back down low into the zone. Right. Up top then to Evans. Shoots in, and that one goes wide. Bardakov will bank it off the boards then to Alexiak. Alexiak at the point. Trying to spin that one away then was Shane Wright and cleared back to center. 2 minutes to go here in this second period. Nazem Kadri from Sam Malinsky and Nathan MacKinnon. Chip back to center then. Gavin Brindley racing for it. Down low behind the net is Philip Grubauer. Here's Evans. Fighting now with Bardakov in the corner. Trying to get that one free down low. Jabbing at it. Melanson gets Bardakov there up high. He loses his stick and his glove. And he just gets off the ice. Game seems to be getting pretty physical here. Here's Myers. Back down low then for Alexiak. Jamie Alexiak back down low. Pass up to Myers. For Winterton, who will dump that one down low into the zone. Ryan Winterton battling for that puck. Manson in the zone, back over to Waugh. Larson fighting with Winterton as well. Pass in front, broken up now. Dunn up top. Vince Dunn to Stevenson. Manson back over then to Larson. Last minute of play in period number 2. Larson to Dunn. Dunn shoots it. It goes up in the air and out of play with 52 seconds left. And we will go to commercial break in light of that. Nazem Kadri with his first goal as an Avalanche in some time makes it 4-1. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary streams as we get ready for the second period to conclude. Got an itchy nose right now. Sorry about that, guys. I thought maybe this game could get close, but then Nazem Kadri kind of, I wouldn't say puts the game away, but it definitely doesn't look great. So 4-1 lead there for the Avalanche. Shots are 18-20. Like, again, like, Seattle is actually the better team in this game. They've looked like the better team, but it's been just a struggle in terms of getting those goals past Wedgewood. And I mean, again, like when you play games like this, like you're definitely like, you know, you're playing better, but like you just don't have the star power. The Avalanche are just by far a better team. And it's sad to admit that, but it's really not that close. Shots are 20-18 here in favor of Seattle. 52 seconds to go in the second period. Face-off one back then by the Avalanche. Makar cleared to center. Nichushkin off the boards then for MacKinnon. MacKinnon back down low. Nelson! What a save by Grubauer. That even got on. I don't think it did. Here's Nichushkin in front. Nelson jabbing at that puck. He goes back down low. MacKinnon up top to Makar. Makar shoots it. And that one goes wide. Nelson trying to feed a pass in front there. Battling forward then on the right side. Grab back then by the Avalanche. Here's Beniers through center. Stolen back then by Colorado. Whistle blown with 21 seconds to go. I think it might have been offsides against Seattle. Brock Nelson with a really good chance there. All right. Face-off coming up here now in the Seattle zone. It's won by the Kraken. Dumped into the Avalanche end. 15 seconds to go. Tolvanen shot on there. Saved by Wedgewood. Off the boards then. Nate is up top. Lindgren a shot save. Rebound was there. And grabbed back then by Colorado. They'll break it through center. Cross-ice pass. Stolen back then by Kiviranta. Kept in at the line. And that'll do it for the second. It was 3-0 after 1. Now it's 4-1 after 2. And Riker Evans gave Seattle life, and Kadri took it away a little over 4 minutes later. And it is a 4-1 lead for Colorado after 40 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 3 momentarily. And I appreciate all your guys' support here tonight. It's greatly appreciated. Not the greatest stream in the world. I think I'd be doing better at commentating this, but you know, you get what you can get. You do what you can do. It is what it is. And now we will get ready to talk about some stuff in the second intermission here in just a moment. Good night, buddy. So 4-1 lead for Colorado after 40 minutes of play. And the narrative this whole game, it seems like the Avalanche, like Seattle just doesn't have the firepower or the star power to match it. And that's the unfortunate truth, but it is true. They don't have the firepower to match it. It's frustrating, but again, what can you really do? Blackhawks beat the Mammoth, it looks like. Connor Bedard, overtime winner. Yeah, they just don't have the firepower. And I think that comes because they want to be good, but they never were bad enough to be good. I also think the guys they drafted were poorly developed. But that's just me. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but not overly confident about the Kraken as a team. And this is a game they needed to really win. I know I kept saying that in the pregame and throughout the first period, but this is a game that you needed to win. And they're really not. They're playing well, but they're just not good enough. You can see it. Still waiting for Kakko to break out. Beniers is so-so. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just poor development of these guys. They have really good players on their team, but they can't develop them. And it's honestly a little bit frustrating, especially when you're a team that's like, you know, you're trying to like get out of that mushy middle, and it feels like Seattle is that mushy middle. It's a little frustrating to watch, especially. But what can you do? All I know is that I'm just commentating the games. What do I know, right? So, third period coming up in a little bit. Got a little bit over 13 minutes to go till the third period, so stick around, everyone. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll talk about the other games around the NHL, the games tomorrow, and all that good stuff. So I will return in just a moment.
Again, we let her put down on them, and they get one back. But you know, we need to be on our toes at all times and take it to them.
What have you thought about Berkeley Catton's effort so far?
Obviously, he's energetic. He's feisty. He's creative. You know, he's a good player, and he's still learning the game at this level. And but he's doing a really good job. I love how he's owning pucks. He's not afraid to make mistakes. He's going in the offense zone. He's getting a lot of good opportunities, good chances, and just, you know, they're going to come for him. I think the more and more he plays, the more the confidence he's going to get in himself and each other. And I think, you know, he's just growing and growing each and every day.
Colorado gives up a lot of shorthanded goals. How did you see the guys kind of break them down there so that Riker could bury that one?
It was a great job by Chandler. Obviously, he stepped up there.
All right, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Drive 3 hours north of Seattle, you have a really crappy team. I guess that's true, right? All right. So the scores after in that period: Riker Evans, 7th goal of the season, shorthanded, assisted by Chandler Stevenson. Then Nazem Kadri from Sam Malinsky and Nathan MacKinnon makes it a 4-1 hockey game. Kadri with his first goal as an Avalanche, I believe, since coming to Colorado. Nathan MacKinnon has 4 points tonight, and that's kind of been missed. He has a goal and 3 assists. Still a fan? Yeah, it'll get better, don't worry. Maybe that first overall pick will do wonders for you guys. Fun fact, Scott Wedgewood, number one in goals against average, number 2 in save percentage, and tied for 9th in shutouts. Little fun fact there for you guys. So Joey Decord was relieved after allowing 3 goals on 15 shots. Decord had had an 800 save percentage. Philip Grubauer only faced 4 shots in that second period, but he allowed one of them, which made him a 750 save percentage. That's not great. But again, like, the Kraken were the better team in that second period. But they're just not good enough. That's the thing. They just don't have a good enough star power on their roster to really do anything with it. So,
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing. I love getting on the stage. The excitement. I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
all right, let's take a look at the other scores around the NHL here while we got some time. While we are at it, we'll take a look at the games tomorrow, too. We already went over some of the games that are currently, why am I blanking? We went over the games that were concluded, the other games that concluded while we were talking. Only one of them, Blackhawks and Mammoth. It was a 3-2 win for Chicago. We streamed those two teams back on Monday. It was a 3-2 win for Chicago in that game as well. Frank Nazar scored in overtime. In this one, though, between these two teams, Dylan Gunther opened up the scoring, made it 1-0, followed by a Tyler Bertuzzi goal, made it 1-1. Frank Nazar made it 2-1. Utah would tie it later on in the third period, and then Connor Bedard scored the overtime winner from Vlasic and Lardis, and it gave the Blackhawks the 3-2 win. Yeah, I know, Colorado kind of killing Seattle here. But anyway. What's up, Rex? Predators and Canucks is a 3-1 win there for Nashville. Matthew Wood, Tyson Yost with 2 goals, and then Brock Besser with the goals there to make it a 3-1 hockey game. Penguins and Golden Knights is 3-2. Goals coming from Colton Sissons, Pavel Dorofeev, Ricard Raquel, Mitch Marner, and Ben Kindle. So there you go. There are only 2 games tomorrow. We will be live for one of them. Teams, LA Kings and the New York Islanders. We'll be live for that game tomorrow. Blues and Oilers as well is going on tomorrow, 8 p.m. on ESPN. Both those teams actually back-to-backs tomorrow. Nate Dogg is on it tonight with 4 points. I think he's pissed about getting that horrible call against Edmonton. Yeah, coming in here now playing hot. Not surprised. Kraken outshot Colorado 13-5 in that second period, though. Recovering from the terrible Anaheim showing in Toronto. Yeah, not great, but it is what it is. You're not going to win them all. Ducks do need to get some more wins, though, for sure. It looks like, as of right now, they're going to take on the Mammoth. That'll be a good series. I mean, I will say this. As much as I want Seattle to get into the playoffs, San Jose and Colorado would be an awesome series to commentate. I would love that. That'd be a 10 out of 10 series. I would so do that. So hopefully San Jose can get into the playoffs, though. That'd be awesome.
set up Riker for the goal.
Kraken had some life and a 2-goal disadvantage. They're pushing and pushing, but how about that top line? We talked about them in the pregame again. They've got a 7-point night going. All 3 players now have a goal.
Nathan MacKinnon with 4 points in this game tonight. Marty Natchez with 2. Devon Tays with 2. Nathan MacKinnon, there have only been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There have only been 14 multi-point games involving 4 points, 17 with 4 or more. Nathan MacKinnon becomes the 15th player to score 4 points in a game in Watch with Nordic history. He has a total of 8 multi-point games over Watch with Nordic commentaries. Tonight, he moves himself up to a pretty rare list of players. And it shouldn't be that big of a surprise. Maybe Matt can get the 5 points. There's only been 3 players who have scored 5 or more points, and that is Connor McDavid, Mika Zibanejad, and Evan Bouchard in Watch with Nordic history. McDavid and Zibanejad have 5. Bouchard has 6. I'll never forget that game where Bouchard had 6 points and a hat trick. It was absolutely insane. One of the craziest games I've streamed. Those are the ones that you remember, that you never forget in commentaries, honestly. So, there you go. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary. Not a crazy night in terms of streaming, but that's okay. The Sabres Capitals game was good. You were there, Tim. Can't wait to hear you call the Avs in the playoffs. Pretty sure the Stanley Cup. I can't wait for the playoffs. Honestly, like, we're doing these commentary streams and I'm having a great time, but I'm not going to lie to you. All I'm thinking about is the playoffs. That is all that I'm thinking about. I want playoff hockey. I demand playoff hockey, actually. Playoffs are so much fun. Oh, my goodness. All right. Updating stats here real quick, guys. Sorry about that. What's up, Christine? How's it going? Yeah, I know. Hurry up the playoffs. I want to see them. Come on. Need one more goal? Okay, we'll see if you can get it, bro. Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of period number 3 between the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Riker Evans and Nazem Kadri, giving Colorado a 4-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. Usually put my stream on outside the travel trailer when the playoffs are on. Can't stand being cooped up inside camping. I believe that. I totally believe that. That sounds like a lot of fun, though. Taking a look at the stats through 40 here in just a moment. Just updating this super duper quickly here. All right, perfect. Oop. All right, stats through 40 as we get ready here for puck drop really quick. Shots are 22-19 in favor of Seattle. Face-off percentage, 56% in favor of Seattle as well. Power plays, Avalanche 1 for 3, Kraken 0 for 2. Hits are 13-8. Block shots are 13-7. Third period is underway. Puck is dropped back then for Taze. Stolen back then by Seattle, then the line, banked back into the Colorado zone. Makar, over then for Taze. Taze will dump it down low then into the Seattle zone on the right side. Nelson battling forward as well. Nichushkin, right side then over for McCann battling for it. Kept in by the Avs. Josh Manson throws it up top. Stolen back to by Seattle. Here's Eberle. 1-0. He's in! Saved by Wedgewood. What a stop by Scott Wedgewood to keep this game 4-1. What an opportunity there for Jordan Eberle, who loves to score in commentaries. That's a known fact. And he makes this one still a 2-goal game, and what a phenomenal stop there for the Avalanche goaltender. Face-off now is won by the Avalanche. Banked off the boards and back to center. Nichushkin fighting with Lindgren. Dump back down low into the Colorado zone. Burns off the boards for Manson. Manson will flick it all the way back into the Avalanche zone. Nichushkin. Right side back up top. Shot. Goes above Grubauer. And they don't know where the puck is. They blow it dead. And now we get some pushing and shoving here down low as things getting physical once more. Not a surprise there whatsoever, though. 100%. These guys love to get physical with each other. The pushing and shoving has always been a part of the game. So it was Riker Evans and Nazem Kadri in that second period that made it a 4-1 hockey game where we're currently at. Face-off now won by the Avalanche. Dumped all the way back down low into the Seattle zone. Grabbed back then in the corner. Kulak. Thrown back to center. Grabbed quickly then by Parker Kelly. Kelly down low then for Malinsky. Over then for Kulak. Brett Kulak will backhand that one then into the Seattle end. I do remember Islanders Brock Nelson. Ryan Lindgren. Right side then for Kulak. Now Lindgren in the corner back to Drury. Drury over then for Kelly. Kelly feeds it up top. Kulak to Malinsky. Malinsky shoots it wide. Puck is cleared all the way back into the Colorado zone. Here's Gaudreau. Comes into center. Denied. Rebounds in front. And Wedgewood somehow kept that out. Are you kidding me? That is 2 grade A opportunities there for Seattle. But they could not convert. Scott Wedgewood, what a stop. Unreal. That was Ryan Winterton who actually had that in front. Thought for a moment it was Gaudreau, but it was not. But still, what an opportunity there. Face off again now in the Avalanche zone. Won by Colorado. They'll break it through center. Through the neutral zone, Brindley. Bank back to center, then Seattle gets it back. Kakko trying to flip it over Blackenberg. And an offsides there against Seattle with 17:43 to go. Avalanche will take on Vancouver on Saturday. Or not Avalanche. Seattle will take on Vancouver on Saturday. Colorado's next game will be on Saturday against the Jets. Face-off here now is won by Seattle in their own zone. Trying to dump that one down low. What's up, J Money? Thank you. I appreciate it. Pass up top, then Evans trying to keep that one in. It slides all the way back into the Seattle zone. Banked off the boards then. Colorado steals it back. They'll bank it back into the Kraken zone. Riker Evans now behind the net. We'll pick it up here then for Seattle. Evans through center. Dumps it down low into the zone. Grab back then by Colorado down low. Taves will flick this one to center. Larson. Back to Dunn. D to D trying to dump that one down low. Kadri off the boards then. Below the line then for Dunn, who will dump it back into the zone. Chandler Stevenson shoots it, tipped over there by Winterton. Could not get it on. Here's Freddie Gaudreau. Gets it back on the right side. Dunn a shot. Denied by Wedgewood. Puck may have gone out of play actually on that play. Not 100% sure, but nice shot there again. Another big save by Wedgewood. That's 25 shots on the game for Seattle. 24 saves for Wedgewood. Face-off coming up now in the Colorado zone. It's won by Seattle. Below the line, done a shot, stopped by Wedgewood. MacKinnon off the boards then for Natchez. Pass up top. Larson trying to backhand it down low. Grab back then by Beniers. Beniers up top to Larson. Larson comes in, shoots it off the side of the net. Seattle still pushing. They're getting chances, but they're just not good enough. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Seattle in their own zone. Vince Dunn. Over to Larson. Larson into the zone. Trying to poke check that one down low. Here come the Avs the other way now. Nichushkin fighting here with Montour. Montour off the boards to center. Brett Kulak on the right side. Back over for Nelson. Stolen back then by Seattle. Here's Matty Beniers. Dumps it down low into the Avalanche zone. Joel Kiviranta. Backhands it to center. Going back all the way into the Seattle zone once again. 4.5 minutes gone in the third period. Puck slides back into the Avalanche zone. Here's Manson. Back to Burns. Now to Drury. Jack Drury down the right side looking for options. Natchez up top. Burns a shot. And that one goes off of Grubauer. And he covers. So we will be live tomorrow for Islanders and Kings. And then we'll also be live for Seattle and Florida. So stay tuned for that. That'll be on Sunday. We'll be live for Seattle and Florida. Friday, Islanders and Kings. And then we won't be live again till Thursday. My schedule at work changes a little bit. It won't be like this for the playoffs. Here's Seattle now through the zone. Drop back shot on. Saved by Wedgewood in the chest. From a shot there from Winterton. So I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, closing nights. So sadly, I won't be able to stream on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the next 2 weeks after this week. But don't worry, that won't be for the playoffs. It'll be just like that for the last 2 full weeks of March. And then back to our regularly scheduled program. Face-off now is won by Seattle. Shot from up top is blocked. Marty H is now behind the net. Plays it back up top, kept in by Wright. Wright to Dunn. Dunn thrown back up top then to Larson. Larson shoots it. It's tipped in front and Wright nearly tucked it in. Drop pass then for Berkeley Cadden. Pass back up top. Donna's shot. Saved by Wedgewood once again. Nathan MacKinnon now back to the right side. Here's Kadri. Poke checked away. Cale Makar. Battling for it then down low. Larson. Chipped away then for Berkeley Cadden. Cadden carries it through center. It's stolen back then again by the Avalanche. 2-on-2. Kadri with Nelson. Nelson tried to put it through his legs. Now Capo Caco. Dropped it up then ahead for Evans, who will dump it down low then into the Colorado zone. Brent Burns behind the net then back over for Manson. Manson flicks it to center. Shots 27-20 in favor of Seattle. Puck will slide all the way back into the Avalanche zone. Icing. 13:53 left to go here in period number 3. Nazem Kadri with his 7th goal in commentary streams. He loves to score in live commentaries. And that he did once again here tonight. Nathan MacKinnon, 4-point game as well. Face off in the Seattle zone, won by the Avalanche. Nelson to Manson, a shot deflected in the air. Denied there by Grubauer. Cleared back to center. Delayed offsides against the Avalanche. Picked back up then Alexiak will bank it ahead. Stolen back then by Evans off the boards and tipped down low. Eberle racing for it then on Manson. Manson back to Nichushkin. Grabbed perfectly then and off the boards for Wah, who will dump it down low into the Seattle zone. Evans off the boards to center. Racing for it then is Winterton. Now fighting with Kulak down low in the corner. He falls into the boards. Drury. Kick back to center. It's grabbed then by Brandon Montour. Over then for Lindgren. Lindgren for Montour. Chip back down low into the Colorado zone. And Wedgewood will cover with 12:57 to go. We will step aside for commercial break. 7 minutes gone. Still 4-1. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary, and that commercial break did not last long. Thought it would be a commercial break. They thought it was 2. They went back for like 2 seconds and they were back. So they decided not to clean the ice. Face-off won by the Avalanche and cleared back to center. Bardakov battling forward then with Gaudreau. Chip back to center, Stevenson. Colorado gets it back. Parker Kelly backhands it down low. Grubauer intercepted in front. And that was nearly a fatal move there for Seattle. Puck slides back out to center. Sam Malinsky down low now off the boards to center. Seattle trying to get this one back. Here's Vince Dunn. Dunn carries it into the zone, battling for it then with Drury. Back on the right side, Tolman and Larson has shot. That one's denied. Now another chance goes wide. Larson cleared around then behind the net for Drury. Jack Drury now will clear it back then for Brett Kulak below the line. Kulak to center. It's grabbed then by Kadri. Kadri over then for Natchez, who battles for it. It slides back to center once again. Seattle gets it back down low then into their own zone. Less than 12 minutes to go in the third. Kako. Back to Stevenson. Up then for Berkeley Cadden. Cadden to the right side. Dumps it into the Avalanche zone. Blackenberg battling for it then. Now Natchez. Back to Kako. Below the line, Blakenberg trying to clear that one of the Avalanche zone. Back up to Kadri. Nazem Kadri will just flick that puck around and pass down low then for Natchez, who can't get the shot on. Shane Wright also battling for it on the right side. Grab back then perfectly through center, a 2-on-2. Into the zone now, Cadden. Battling for it in the corner with Makar. Still hard to tell these Kraken jerseys, so I apologize if I'm mispronouncing guys and whatever. It's hard to tell with some of these numbers, just with like the way they're looking on the back. Here's Evans to Eberle. Eberle will dump it down low into the Colorado zone. Manson back to Nichushkin. Eberle down low. Nichushkin back up top to Nelson. Here they come through center, a one-on-one. Wah battling for it then with Beniers. Alexiak in front. Nelson, a backhand there, goes wide. Eberle then back for Montour. Brandon Montour will regroup in his own end. We are approaching the halfway mark of this third period. Avalanche leads Seattle by 3. Brent Burns back down low now in his own zone. Banked off the boards to center. Here's Kiviranta. Will dump that one down low into the zone. Lindgren off the boards then to Drury. Taken back then by Seattle the other way. Winterton will backhand that one down low. Melanson fighting with Malinsky. Down low, puck is chipped back to the right side. Lindgren feeds it back up top. Montour dekes in, shoots it, blocked. Now Winterton here down low. Puck is slid all the way back to center. Shots 27-21. Brandon Montour holds it now down low in the Seattle zone. Pass back for Dunn, shipped all the way down low into the Colorado end. Kulak kept in the zone then by Seattle. Stolen back then by Natchez. Marty Natchez now regroups in his own zone. Back to Kulak. Kulak over then for Blackenberg. Into the zone. MacKinnon, a shot denied there by Wedgewood. Kakko up then for Wright. Here's Cadden into the zone. Shoots it. Save again by Wedgewood. Kakko trying to poke check that one ahead. Kept in the zone by Seattle. Larson up top. Shoots it. And it's blocked. Here's Nazem Kadri now with speed the other way. We'll just dump it down low into the Seattle zone. Shots 28-22. Here come the Kraken now through center. Gaudreau down low. Fires it there on Wedgewood. It goes up and high. Now back out to center, Melanson. Over then through the zone, Tolvanen. Kind of loses it there a little bit. Drops back up top. Tolvanen a shot. Goes back down low. Now Riker Evans. Behind the net now for Seattle. Pass in front. Stolen back then. And kept in the zone by Alexiak. Up top. Gaudreau shoots it. And off the side of the goal. Taze. Back to the right side now. Valery Nichushkin. Here's Wah. Back to Nichushkin, who will dump that one down low. 7:55 to go in this third. Cleared back down low then behind the net. Not a lot of whistles. I don't think any at all, actually. Kiviranta. Back over then for Natchez. Up top, Manson, a shot. That one is blocked. Parker Kelly will clear this one around then behind the net to Burns. A shot goes wide. Now Drury dumps it down low. Colorado trying to get this one back. Burns feeds it up top. Pass over to Manson. Deny rebound. It goes in. And it was possibly tipped in front. I'm not sure who's going to get credit for this goal. It might be Joel Kiviranta. But regardless of who scored it, it's 5-1 Colorado. There have not been any whistles at all. We've been going for a straight 14 minutes here. There was one whistle. We thought we were going to commercial break, and we were not. There has not been a whistle for a pretty darn good 14 minutes here. Pretty sure we've been going since the start. No commercial breaks yet. So we're probably going to get 3 commercial breaks over the span of like 2 minutes now. Face-off at center is won by the Avalanche. It is Kiviranta from Manson and Kelly. Malinsky now dumps it down low into the Kraken zone. Larson back to Dunn. Dunn chips it off the boards then now and thrown to center, kept in by the Avs. Malinsky up top, shoots it, denied there. Up top then again, Kelly back down low to Natchez. Natchez in the corner. 6:50 remaining in the third. Kulak back to Natchez, up top then. Marty Natchez now at the point. Fires it down low. Malinsky shoots it, blocked in front. Kadri, pass over! And a good little dangle there, but could not convert, is Natchez. Here's MacKinnon behind the net. Nathan MacKinnon will clear it back around to the right side. Throws it down low then. Kulak, pass over, broken up. Seattle gets it back to center. Shots 28-25 now. Here's Natchez, intercepted then by the Kraken. Berkeley Cadden comes into the zone. Back down low then, Kulak battling forward off the boards. Pass over, broken up. Bank back up top, Montour barely keeps it in. Avalanche steal it right back immediately and throw it to center. Cadden intercepted then by MacKinnon. Here comes Brindley. Brindley into the zone. Pass up top through his legs. Nichushkin down low. Shot there by Nelson's blocked. Kept in the zone. Taze to Brindley. Brindley waits. Pass back up top. Taze shot into the glove of Grubauer. 5:36 to go. There's our first commercial break in a while. Shots are 28-25 in favor of Seattle, but Colorado with a 5-1 lead here in this third period. And again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary.
Most people don't think they need life insurance. But USAA members know we care about their family's future. And we don't want them to worry, even as life goes on. USAA will be here, supporting their loved ones, just like we have.
What a game. What a night. I have a midterm tomorrow. Not looking forward to that.
Because at USAA, we take care of our own.
Disappointed this morning to share that Bobby McMahon's immigration process was still not completed, but the team hoped it would be sometime this afternoon.
5-1 lead for Colorado here in this third period. Shots 28-25. Let's take a look at the goaltender stats here so far through tonight. Start off on the Seattle end, I believe, is what we're going to kick off with here. If my box score wants to load. It doesn't look like it wants to load, so maybe we won't look at it. Thank you, Amore. I appreciate it. Yeah, the exam. Tomorrow's my last day before spring break. Face-off here now, won by the Kraken. Banked in through center now. Goaltender stats, Scott Wedgewood. 27 saves on 28 shots, 964 save percentage is not too shabby. As for the other goaltenders, Philip Grubauer and Joey Decord, 800 save percentages. Decord, 12 saves on 15 shots. Grubauer, 8 saves on 10 shots. Puck is dumped back into the Kraken zone. Lindgren battling forward in the corner off the boards then. Montour back to Melanson. Avalanche will regroup now on their own end. The final 5 minutes of play. Montour back over then for Devon Taze. Devon Taze now below the line. Holds it for Colorado. Manson back to Taze. Tays to center, then here comes Drury. Jack Drury now below the line. Fighting for it then with Riker Evans. Brindley battling for it there as well. Trying to get that one free. Alexiak fighting with Brindley. Puck slides in front. Stolen back then by Seattle. Trying to chip that one the other way. Here they come through the zone. Chandler Stevenson down low then battling for it with Manson. Stevenson feeds it up top. Shot! Saved through the traffic if that even got on. Puck comes out to center then Drury. Taken back then by Stevenson. Down low now Evans. 4 minutes to go in this third period. Riker Evans holds it down low now in his own zone, just kind of surveying for options. Kraken will drop their 4th straight game. This is not ideal here for Seattle. Again, you look at the Kraken, they're below the playoff line. San Jose just passed them today. You needed a win tonight. And I know it's Colorado, but to not get one is very disappointing. They played better than the Avs at points. They outshot him in the second. They're out shooting him in the third. But that first period, going down 3-0, was just too far for them to come back from. Here come the Kraken in the zone. Shot on there, goes wide of Wedgewood. Down low in the corner now, Bardakov. On the right side, up top then, Dunn. Dunn looks for options. Circles around now up top. Vince Dunn, poke checked away. Here's Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon down the right side, fires it, denied by Grubauer, who will evoke to not cover. Or will evoke to cover, actually. 2 former teammates there in Nathan MacKinnon and Philip Grubauer. And MacKinnon nearly had his 5th point of the game, but alas, it was not meant to be. 5-1 Avalanche. And yeah, that Kiviranta goal was the first goal that was not influenced by a MacKinnon point or anything like that. Kiviranta, with that goal, that is his 3rd goal in commentaries. He likes to score in commentaries. And you know what's funny? He has 3 goals in the season. I wonder, hang on. I can go look at last year. Did he score it all last year? Yes, so we've commentated 2 of the 3 Kiviranta goals that he's had this season. Isn't that kind of wild? Like, I keep track of that. With Keegan Colasar on Vegas, we've commentated, I think, 5 of his 7 goals in the NHL this year. And then for Kiviranta, we've commentated 2 of the 3 goals he's had this year. It's kind of funny when you think about it. For guys like that, and you know, we commentate so many games on the channel, like, it's crazy that we were commentating for when those guys scored. But we do. We've commentated over 100 streams on the channel, nearly 120. By the way, stream number 200 all time is next Friday. Devils and Capitals will be having a cake on the stream. We'll be unboxing hockey cards. It'll be a special event on the channel. So March 20th, I believe, is our 200 stream, so stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Shots are 29-26 in favor of the Kraken with 2:50 to go. Face-off won by Seattle. Brindley battling for it then on the right side. Kraken pick it up. Here's Shane Wright. Trying to chip that one into the zone, battling for it then with Waugh. Down low in the corner, cleared back to center. Nichushkin kind of loses the puck there, comes back to center. Blackenberg drops it back. Down low, Blackenberg fires it. And that one is blocked. Puck slides all the way back into the Colorado zone. Berkeley Cadden then back for Blackenberg. The schedule will be posted tomorrow, or on Sunday of the commentary schedule next week. Here's Berkeley Cadden battling for it. Grabbed then back by Shane Wright. Thrown back to center then. Brent Burns to Manson. Josh Manson will regroup now in his own end. Burns Over then for Bardakov. Bardakov up top. Manson, poke checked away. Seattle trying to break this one through center, kept in the zone by the Avalanche. Finally, Seattle does get it free. Here's Melanson, comes in, fires it, saved by Wedgewood with the pad. 30 shots in the game there for Colorado. Wraparound chance, broken up, and the Avalanche will clear it back to center. 90 seconds to go in the third. Shots 30-26. Here's Ben Myers. Grabbed back then by the Avalanche. Drury for Natchez. Natchez throws it up top. Malinsky down low to Blackenberg. Shot is up high and wide. Now Kadri feeds it back up top. Blackenberg to Malinsky. Puck is stuck in his legs. Last minute of play in regulation. Pass over then for Winterton. We'll battle for it now down low in the corner. 50 seconds left to play in the third. Malinsky behind the net then for Colorado. Off the boards to Natchez. Dumps it down low into the Seattle zone. Whistle blown dead then for an icing with 41 seconds to go. So we'll be live tomorrow, 7 o'clock for Islanders and Kings. So there you go. We'll be live tomorrow, Islanders and Kings. Stream start time, 7 p.m. Stream will start at 6:58. As always, we start 2 minutes before the actual pregame starts. Should be a good one tomorrow. The Islanders-Kings one last week did very well. So Seattle will drop their 4th game in a row. The Avalanche will move back into 97 points on the year. They'll move back into the win column. They pick up their 21st win on the road. Seattle losing yet again at home. As time ticks down, the Avalanche will give the Kraken their 4th straight loss. And a big win there for the Avalanche. Your final score, Colorado 5 and Seattle 2. Scott Wedgewood, what a game. 28 saves on 29 shots. Ends up having a .966 save percentage when it is all said and done. All right. That will do it for me here tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream. It helps out with the engagement. We will be back tomorrow. Islanders and Kings. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Puck drop will be then. Stream start will be 6:58. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next stream.